I think the overall, it's not, the restructuring of copyright is not enough. The restructuring of various forms of patronage and exploitation, etc. It's a very complicated, there's no simple, hero-villain account here. But yeah, there are some who are more villainous than others.
Also on, I think, should we do the last question?
Last
one. So don't you think educating the musicians, current musicians about the law is very important? I mean, just think of a few issues. The issue of authorship. So when you're in a band jamming together and some people break away, issues of authorship, issues of ownership, like you mentioned. And also simple things like the copyright comes into being immediately upon creation. There doesn't need to be registration. Simple things like this. Do you see a dearth of knowledge?
Absolutely. I mean, there are a lot of common myths about this, right? I mean, especially on the registration question. I mean, if you look at the FAQ, the number of questions which are repetitive, just on the registration kind of question, or on this entire question of joint authorship. There's a very, very interesting and important case called Headley versus Kemp, which is about this terrible band whose only claim to fame was that they were Lady Diana's favorite band, called Spandau Ballet. And that was a case where, basically one of the band members claimed to be the author of the work and wanted to exclude the others from any enjoyment in the royalty, while the other band members claimed that this was always a work of joint authorship. And it's a really remarkable judgment because the judge holds in favor of the person who claims to be the sole author. And you really then wonder, because what the band members give you as a description is the jamming process. That you had a basic tune, then we jammed, then we changed, and we finally had a song together. And that kind of goes into the bottom line, I think, also, that as much as musicians need to learn copyright lawyers and judges need to know more, much more about art, music and literature than they do.
Oh, it's too disconnected and fragmented.
Yeah, because I mean you get crap legal doctrine out of crap aesthetics. And that's really what the problem is. Right? So you're trying to adjudicate on a field that you really have no idea about. And have a look at Mars recording versus super cassettes. It's a judgment by Justice Mudgal. Very interesting judgment, very good judgment. But if you look at the examples that are used in the judgment, you'll get a sense. It's not about the kanta laga everydayness of how music traverses. The example is the Royal Philharmonic's interpretation of the Beatles. Right? So there's a strong relationship between culture and legal doctrine, and that is what needs to be understood. So I don't know how you guys are managing in the law school. Who teaches IP now?
Ramakrishna.
Oh, same. All the